centre backs. I'm busy. Yeah. We're gonna lose again, aren't we? What's going on, people? Welcome back to League M for the match preview. Chelsea facing Crystal Palace away at Selhurt Park. Now, this is a must-win game for obvious reasons. Chelsea are under pressure to produce results after the horrible performances we've seen over the past 2 weeks, holding 4 on 2 occasions against Liverpool and Wolves. It's very important that Chelsea wins this game in a bid to salvage our season, in a bid for the coach to get the fans on side and maybe, show that he's the one who's meant for this job. Before this fixture, I wasn't really confident that we were going to do anything over the last week because of the recent results that we've had. But after seeing the performance in midweek in the Cup against Aston Villa, I think the squad is very capable of putting in good performances and getting the results required. Just need to do it consistently. Crystal Palace are having a routine season, just hovering above relegation. They look like they're going to finish mid-table at the moment. It seems as if the Palace fans are tired of said routine. They are calling for a change, and now the club and Roy Hodgson are under pressure. There's been a lot of speculation that the club are looking to let Roy Hodgson go again. It's unclear as to who they're going to replace Hodgson with. I'm just happy that they get to have him one last time. Probably after this game, we'll see a club statement being released saying that they have relieved the man of his duties. That's all we've been asking for as Chelsea fans, is that the new manager bounce should not start with us. Chelsea have a great opportunity to get a result in this game, with Palace missing key personnel, the likes of Michael Olise, Eberechi Eze, Chik Umadu Kore. Those are key players in the starting 11, and 2 out of the 3 are responsible for the guile that Crystal Palace have under normal circumstances. If they are there, that Eze and Olise are making things happen in attack. And now with them gone, I do not see where the threat is going to come from. Because we are under pressure ourselves, it's a must that we win this game. We suffered very heavy losses in the past 2 weeks, but we managed to rectify that in the Cup. I think we'll be eager to win again after winning in the Cup, having produced our best performance of the season since the game against City. In my opinion, I think the only thing that will give us a chance is if we replicate that performance. Now, not even to replicate it, I think I'd go as far as saying if we just perform half as good as we did in midweek, then there might be hope for us yet. It's very important that we go into this game on our A game. We need to think about how we are going to win this game. We'll look at nothing but the win. Don't know what we're going to get from Palace because they are under pressure. It's very unclear if this pressure will push them into producing a good performance against us, as teams have shown that they can do if they really fancy their chances against us, or are they just going to wilt under the pressure and roll over? So it's very important for us to have our eyes on the prize, look at nothing but the win, and look to go there, play with high intensity, just being proactive on our part, play some serious football and go for the kill. Honestly, this thing can go either one of 2 ways. Either Palace are going to sit back and try to hit us on the counter, or they are going to apply pressure, knowing that we have our deficiencies ourselves. So I'd like to go into this game, get on the front foot and create as much as we can, as many opportunities as we can to score, and just get the job done. Having said that, I'm going to predict my starting 11. I'm going to do two things with the starting 11. I'm going to predict the starting 11 that I would like to see, and I'm going to tell you guys how I think Poch is going to line up. So I'll start with the starting 11 I want to see. Petrovic in goal, obviously. Right back, Malo Gusto. Centre backs, Axel Disasi and Levi Colwell, since Badiashile is out injured. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Left back, Ben Chilwell. In midfield, I want to see Enzo and Caicedo as the double pivot, and just ahead of them, Cole Palmer. I think Gallagher should, I'm not sure if he's going to replicate the same performance that he did in midweek. If he starts and he does, then good for him, but I really think he should sit this one out. So I'm slightly tweaking it a bit. I just want to see creativity. I want to see guile. I just want to see us cause problems for Crystal Palace, especially if they're going to play with a low block. It's very important that we have players like Cole Palmer in the team who can unlock defenses and just make things happen, especially in the tight spaces. My front line, I'm going with Nicholas Jackson in left wing. He produced such a great performance in left wing in midweek, and I think that looks like his best position. So I think we should continue playing him in that position. Right wing, I want to give Madueke a start. He was so impressive midweek, and I think he can definitely do something. He can definitely produce for us again. I think he deserves a run of games, and I think he should get the nod. Centre forward, I'm going with Christopher Nkunku because he didn't start midweek. I think he was rested for this game specifically, and he can link up with players like Jackson and Madueke, Palmer behind him. You know, we can have a fluid front four. I think there's a lot that front line can do. So that is the 11 I'd like to see, because it essentially just keeps like a few of the core principles that were implemented against Villa. With Thiago Silva not being present in the starting 11, we can afford to play a higher line. We can afford to get closer to our central midfielders, you know, just to close up that space between the central midfielders and the centre backs. We have wingers who can track back and help out the full backs if they're out of position, without having the midfielders and the pivot having to cover the wings whenever the full backs are high up. And I think this starting 11 will really help us out. I think this is the one that is more likely to replicate the performance that we've seen in midweek. How I think Poch will line up, I think he'll obviously put Petrovic in goal. I think he'll be lining up. I think Thiago Silva is going to start. That means we might see ourselves line up in a back three for our centre backs. Our back three will be Axel Disasi, Thiago Silva and Levi Colwell. Malo Gusto and Ben Chilwell will be the wing backs, and in midfield we'll have Enzo and Moises Caicedo. And our front line, because Sterling was rested in midweek, I think Poch is going to start him. So it's going to be Sterling, Palmer, obviously, him being our best player, and Nkunku. So Gallagher sits this game out either way. Now that lineup works on paper because us playing in a back three, there's defensive cover for the fullbacks who are going to be much higher up. They're going to be afforded license to go more forward, and as long as the midfielders are disciplined and they do not drift away from those positions, there's also cover in the middle as well. We can afford to go a bit further up the pitch because the centre backs alongside Thiago Silva can afford to push out. They can afford to push out and maybe apply a bit of pressure two number 10s playing behind the striker will not be forced to track back as much. I think this lineup will basically canvas over the weaknesses while also exploiting some of the team's strengths as well. So yeah, I think that's how the lineups are pretty much going to go. But I'd very much like to see the lineup that I predicted that I want to see. In score prediction, I want to go with a 2-0 Chelsea win, only because I do not see where the threat is going to come from Palace. I don't see how they're going to hurt Chelsea. I just don't see where their guile is going to come from. I think they definitely are going to just sit back and try to be compact, hit on the counter, and that gives them a chance. It really does, especially if there's spaces in behind that they can exploit. But as I think if we just perform half as good as we did in midweek, we're coming away with this result. So can say I'm a bit confident. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this video. I'd very much like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What is the starting lineup you guys would want to see, and how do you think the game will pan out? Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Keep it M.